Guys, welcome back to DSC Healthy Living. And if you have been following this series, sorry, my hair's bothering me. Anyway, if you've been following this series, then you know this has been about willpower. I talked about that in the first video and how willpower is not necessarily something you have, but you can create it by changing your surroundings. So in your environment, making a healthy environment to help make sure that you have the willpower there. So this one is going to be about your healthy environment by creating some healthy motion. And so you want to interject that throughout your day, which in turn will help you to, kind of have willpower just without even thinking about it. So, and if this is an area that you struggle with willpower, especially and when I say exercise, a lot of people, with this program, we don't encourage exercise in the beginning. So we take small steps and interject healthy motion as you go through your weight loss phase. And when you get that down pat, then you increase it. So we just do this in little increments. So if you have to start some stressful regimen that's just like you doing burpees and all this stuff, I would have never even done it. Would have never even considered it. But anyway, so what we try to do is interject motion into the natural part of your day. So you really don't realize you're doing it, but it's still increasing your steps and increasing your movement, which is in turn burning calories. So, what's important, and because we don't encourage heavy exercise in the beginning, if you are overweight, each pound of fat puts 4 pounds of pressure on your knees and 6 pounds of pressure on your hips. And if you are doing heavy exercise, that could damage your joints, your ligaments. You can tear something, pull a hemi. You can do anything. So you want to make sure that you're not doing excessive exercise if you are overweight. And also, this is something else, because a lot of especially women will ask me about saggy skin. As you get older, everything's going to sag. I hate to tell you. I don't care how perky everything is right now, girls. Just wait. But anywho, if you are overweight and your fat is sitting on top of the muscle, you got your bone, your muscle, your fat layer is here, and then your skin. So if you are increasing your muscle, then that's pushing the fat up into your skin, which is in turn stretching it even more. So, you're going to stretch it more if you want to build a muscle. So just kind of think about that. But anywho, all right. So, even if you're not overweight and you're not on your weight loss journey, most people have the sitting disease. And sitting disease means you're sitting still a lot. There is a website called JustStand, JustStand.org. And they have a lot of information on there about the sitting disease, and you need to check it out. They report that the average American spends 12 hours a day sitting. 12 hours. That's a lot. So, and that leads to just a plethora of diseases and illnesses, especially cardiovascular trouble. So, go to their site, and they have a ton of information about how to really gives you some tools about how to help you to take action, other than what I'm going to talk about today. So, we really want you to get back to moving your body like you were when you were a kid. And when I say kid, I don't mean a teenager, because but actually when I was a teenager, we did move a lot. We still were active. We didn't have all the technology that's available today. So when that came along, it kind of, you think about kids today, if they're not in sports and not active, or they play a lot of these online games and things and interact with each other that way, they may not be overweight, but they are not getting a lot of movement, and that in turn, not getting good health, heart health. So Anyway, so that's what we want to get you to doing, getting back to having the movement like a kid. Think about a little kid like my great nephew. You know, he was just on the go all the time. He wants to be up and going, and that's what we want you to be doing. So, and you know, as adults, we kind of forget how to get outside and have fun and play, you know, because we let life just get in the way because we're so hectic. So we got to get back to that. It would be nice, wouldn't it? And when you combine not getting up and moving, you're sitting all the time, you combine that with bad eating habits, then that's just a recipe for disaster, of course. So we don't want you to jump head first into this, and when I give you all these little steps to do, I don't expect you to do them all at one time, but pick one, get used to doing that, and then incorporate another one. So like, and you're going to do this at your job, with your chores. It's just when you're out and about, and just interacting it with everybody. So what this is going to do is keep you in motion all the time, not just if you're devoting 30 minutes to exercise a day. This is going to give you that movement throughout the day. So how can you do that? When you're at work, you can walk when you're on break. That's a good way. And even if you just get 15-minute breaks throughout the day, you take a lap around the office or go outside, get some fresh air, whatever you can do, work it into your day. Is you know, you don't have to do 30 minutes at one time. Do 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there. Just get it in. You can park further away when you get to work, go to the furthest parking lot, and that's the same thing when you're shopping. If you're at Walmart, I see everybody trying to go around the Walmart parking lot, trying to find one of those spots as close as they can to the door so they don't have to walk as far. But don't even do that. Just when you pull in, stop, get out there, back there at the trees or wherever, you know, and park out there and walk and get more steps in that way. And if it's bad weather and you get in there, just walk around Walmart, you know, or walk around the mall. You can, we used to joke when we were teenagers and all the older people would come out there and walk around that darker carpet at the mall. Be one of those people and get in there, and if it's bad weather, and walk. I think you can walk at the YMCA too. You don't even have to have a membership. You can use their track. You used to could before COVID, but I don't know. You can check with them. CCC, go out there and walk. I'm sure they wouldn't care. Also, if you're, use the stairs, don't take the elevator, the restroom, if there's one right there at your office and there's one across the, you know, on the other side of the building, go to that restroom instead of the one right there at the office door. And stand and walk around. If you are talking on your phone, I'll guarantee if you're watching this, you're sitting on your butt, right? Get up. So instead of sitting there, get up, walk around the living room, get up and walk around, go outside. Anytime you do that, and it's giving you more movement. And always have a tall core. You want to stand tall and make sure that you aren't slouching, and just really engage your core. If you just try to pull your abs in, and while you're sitting here, I mean, it's engaging them and it's working your muscles. So it's not really exercising, but it's movement. When you're at home, a lot of people don't make their bed. That's extra movement. Make your bed in the morning when you get up. Manually brush your teeth. A lot of people have the automatic toothbrushes. You know, you can move, and that's more movement. Use shaker jars and shaker bottles, blender bottles. If use mixers, you know, mix it by hand. Brooms instead of a broom vac. Use the manual, you know, the old-timey broom. Sweep it up. Push, you know, pretty much just don't use machines. The machines have made us lazy, really. One machine you can use is the push mower. You can trade in the riding mower for the push mower. Push mowers are cheaper. That's a good way to get the kids off their butt too, make them mow. And when you walk your dog, a lot of times if I'm in a hurry, I'll just take Gracie out, let her pee in the front yard, and then come right back in. I have made it a habit, just probably the past 2 weeks, at least twice a day, we walk around the whole yard and the backyard, around the side yard, you know, and we're up and walking about 15 minutes. That's a 15-minute lap. So, you know, do that when just incorporate as much as you can when you can. And a good thing to do too, after supper, take a stroll with the family, you know, just if it's just around the yard, go around and look and see what flowers are blooming and see what birds are singing. Just get outside as a family together. Another thing is when you're on the go, like and you're out shopping, again, like I said, walk around the mall, outdoor activities. Hiking is a great family activity, or just in general for you. You can go hiking and or walking over at the park. I love walking over at West Lincoln Park. I got to get back to doing that now since it's pretty weather. How about washing your car instead of taking it through the car wash? That's another good one. That's all we used to do is wash the car by hand, because we didn't have we had the manual car washes, but other than that, save money, we washed them at home. Sports, and if you're not a big sports person, there's still things you can do outside that require some movement, like cornhole or horseshoes or archery. I don't know. I mean, there's all kind of things you can do. When I say sports, it don't necessarily mean you have to play basketball or be a, pickleball player, but that's options too. Bicycle, swimming, anything like that. And when you're on vacation at the beach, walking on the beach is a great way to get that resistance too when you're in the sand. So, what you want to do is have a daily goal of 100,000. Woo, that's a lot. A daily goal of 10,000 steps. That's what you want to shoot for eventually. Most people are around 4,000 to 5,000, if they are sedentary all day long. So, and I'm a big advocate of yoga stretches. That is something, you can Google that. There's beginner yoga stretches. You don't have to do all this downward dog and be standing on your head, but just stretching in general. If you think about a cat, or especially out in the wild, the cats, they lay around all day and don't do anything, and they're usually stretching, and they'll get up and just stretch real big and stretch out their legs, and then they can run like the dickens, but they're not exercising, so they stretch. So same thing with you. You stretch and engage those muscles. And if you can't get down on the floor, get on the bed and do the stretches on the bed. You don't have to get down on the floor. Let's see, what else? As you're incorporating little things like this into your day, and you're starting to notice, hey, I do feel better. I'm engaging my core. I feel better. I'm getting more fit, and you want to try more things. Then you can plan movement. So that means it's going to be a vigorous movement. It's enough to improve overall fitness, not just injected into your everyday routine. How much time does that require? You think you don't want to go to the gym for 2 hours a day. Who has time for that? Some people do, not knocking it, but 30 minutes a day, that's all you need. 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week. And again, if you can't get that 30 minutes in at one shot, do it in increments of 10 minutes. If you can, get in the 30 minute when you can. And that's what you want to do for a lifetime. 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week. That's not too much. I have found walking is probably the best overall as far as clearing your mind, getting outside. You can do it at your own pace. And I highly suggest just starting like 20 minutes. So just do it 20 minutes at a time. And 5 minutes of that in the beginning should be stretching. And trust me on that one, I was down for a year because of my plantar fasciitis. So stretch, and stretch good. And don't ever skip it. So stretch for 5 minutes, walk briskly for 10 minutes, and then stretch or cool down, do a cool down couple laps for 5 minutes. And so like in that warm up, when you're doing your stretches and walking slow too, you want to you're walking slow a couple laps, and it's 160 steps. You're doing the brisk steps like 660 steps, and then 160 steps. So kind of keep up with it if you have a Fitbit or Apple Watch, and then you'll know that's about like a half a mile. And so then to add 5 minutes each week to that brisk time in the middle. So then you'll be 5 minute warm up, 15 minute walk, and then 5 minute cool down. So, and just keep increasing it like that until you can walk like 4 miles an hour, if you can do that, or, whatever you can get in, at least 30 minutes. Some people at that point then too like to incorporate your resistance program. And that can be resistance bands at home, like weights, going to the gym. But you want to incorporate, if you get to that point, like I said, you're not doing all this at one time. As you're doing this and you're getting each part of your your body and health and everything, getting all of these healthy aspects of your life situated, then you're going to want to add more. So you want to build the muscle, and that's kind of where I'm at right now. So I'm in that. No, I'm not perfect. Nobody is. So I'm always on my journey every single day, trying to be a better me every day. So I'm not sitting here preaching to the choir, because I've got to do it too. Anyway, so, but with that, if you incorporate the resistance training, you just do that twice a week. I recommend, like, on Monday, do your upper body, and Thursday, do lower body. And that way it's giving you 2 days in between to let your muscles recover. So that's a good way to do that. And it's always important to build muscle too, because as you age, you need to protect your bones. And that's what the muscles are on top of the bones, to protect those and keep them where they need to be. So as you get older, unfortunately, your bone density is going to decrease. So you want to make sure you're protecting those bones as much as you can. All right, guys. Again, I've talked over. I don't know. I just love to talk. And so this is going to be the last video in this series of how to create a healthy, or, you know, if you create a healthy environment, it's going to help you have the willpower to do all this. And so your surroundings are just very important. Always remember that. If you can control what you're around, you can control what's around you. So you can't always control how people are around you and how things happen, but you can control a majority of that. So I hope some of this has helped, and if you have any questions, always reach out. I will be glad to help in any way that I possibly can. If I don't know the answer, I will find somebody that does. And as always, if you will like, if you will subscribe, if you will share and comment. I don't know why I'm having trouble with that, y'all. I'm sorry. But anyway, all right, guys, y'all have a wonderful, wonderful evening, day, whenever you're watching this, and see you later.